I'm coming at you live on tape from Sydney, Ohio. And this week we're doing a movie that I was supposed to do last week, Poseidon. Now, the reason we didn't do it last week was because I had my septum fixed, finally, and I just wasn't feeling up to it. The anesthesia made me sick the first day, and the second day I was still feeling nauseous. And the third day I still wasn't feeling great. And by the fourth day, I just felt it was too late in the week to do it, to do anything with the videos. So I just felt we'll go do the wrestling video next week and we'll just do everything else next week. That's why everything else was just done this week. Now, Poseidon Rex is one of those movies that has the terrible acting you would expect from a movie about a dinosaur rising from a sinkhole in Belize. It's got all the terrible acting, all the terrible CGI, and the terrible story you would expect from a movie like this. It's the wonderful story of a treasure hunter looking for Mayan gold in a sinkhole in Belize called the Blue Hole, who's placed some C4 charges and unearths a dinosaur who then wreaks havoc on an island in Belize. Now, you may think Belize was mentioned in a Bond movie. Yes, it was. And this is definitely not a Bond movie, though it is a better movie than that Bond movie. This is actually a pretty decent movie. It's one though so good it's bad movie. So bad it's good movies. But it's not good enough to watch 4 times over the course of 2 weeks. It is also a movie where the movie where one song is played throughout. It is the official song of the Belizean government. I don't know what the name of it is, but it keeps talking about "Come On, Pretty Mama," and I think it's the official song of Belize, and you will hear it several times in this movie. It is very catchy, and you will be singing it for the next 2 weeks. So it starts out with our hero, Jax, played by Brian Krause, who was Leo in Charmed. Leo was the angel who married one of their sisters, and I think they had a kid together. I haven't watched Charmed in a while, so I am not caught up with Charmed. The original Charmed. I'm talking the original Charmed, not the crappy reboot that lasted 1 season. And he is going down to the Blue Hole because he thinks some sunken treasure is down there. And they place the C4 charges. And they blow up too early, and he rises to the top unconscious, but they awaken a dinosaur who kills the crew of his boat and the people who blew up the C4 charges, and is now on the loose. Then we meet our tourists, Rod and Jane, who are going on a scuba diving expedition with Henry, who is a boatist. Well, he owns a boat and takes tourists out. We meet Sarah, who's a scientist in between this, who Henry's taking out later. But Rod and Jane go out with Henry to a scuba diving expedition, and the song is played 3 times in between this. Once over their opening credits. Henry plays it for Rod and Jane in the beginning of their expedition, saying it's an hour trip out to the Blue Hole, and it is still playing when they get to the Blue Hole. So apparently Henry was torturing these people with that song. And so Rod and Jane go out and find Jax's body, and Jax wakes up just in time to say no hospitals. So they take him back to their hotel room, where Sarah, who's a scientist, is making Jax feel better. Not in the way she makes Jax feel better later in the movie. Jax wakes up and explains what's going on. and he agrees to cut them in on the treasure if they help him retrieve it. Meanwhile, Tariq, who Jax is working for, who demands Jax be killed because he thinks Jax took the treasure for himself. And Tariq's men have a plan to meet Jax out on the water and kill him, but they are killed by the dinosaur before they can kill Jax. Meanwhile, Jax goes over to the remains of their boat and is stopped by the Belizean police, who threaten to throw Jax, Sarah, and Rod and Henry, because Jane stayed back, she was the smart one, in jail if they don't start talking. And they tell a story, but not the whole story. And then they go diving in the blue hole, and we see dinosaur tracks and eggs, one of the eggs they bring up, and the sunken Spanish ship. Well, they get back, and Tariq vows revenge because his men never came back. He thinks Jax killed them, and Jax and Sarah go to the science lab to check out this egg. Meanwhile, Jane is partying without Rod on this boat, drinking mimosas like Chris Jericho, and having fun. Well, she's not really having fun. She's just drinking mimosas and sulking and not letting any guy touch her. Which, if I was Jane, I wouldn't let a guy touch me either. I mean, have you seen penises? They're just strange looking. I'd totally be a lesbian if I was a girl, because boobs are great. Anyways, back to the movie. So then the dinosaur attacks Jan's boat, knocking her off into the water and destroying the boat. Rod sees it through some binoculars and gets Henry, but Jan is dead before they can get there. Meanwhile, Sarah and Jax, that was Rod who went with Henry, not Jax. Sarah and Jax open up the egg, and a living dinosaur comes out, which they shove in the refrigerator, just in time for Tariq and his men to show up. And Jax tells them the gold is in the refrigerator. Dinosaur pops up, Sarah and Jax escape. So Sarah and Jax and Rod and Henry go back out to the blue hole on a mission to destroy what's now called Poseidon Rex and its eggs with the Belizean police. Well, they confront Poseidon Rex with guns, but they do no good, and Henry gets killed this time. Well, the Belizean police take them back and vow that they will nuke the blue hole, which won't do any good, because anybody who knows anything about nuclear weapons knows they do no good in the water. But anyways, then the Belizean police die. And then Poseidon Rex comes on land, leading to a chase, and Jax, Sarah, and Rod end up at an old military base contacting the military, which the military gets in touch with them the next morning and saying they're going to bomb the island and they have 20 minutes to get off. Jax takes a double-seater plane to distract Poseidon Rex, while Rod and Sarah try to make it on a boat to get out of there. But they have all these military rocket launchers and stuff to fight him off. Poseidon Rex goes after Rod and Sarah because Jax isn't doing a good job distracting him, which he should have just ran the plane into Poseidon Rex's head. I mean, that would have been a suicide attack, but whatever, it would have killed him. Where was I? I'm getting off track today. It might be because my nose hurts. It might be because my head's not all there. I'm just getting off track. So the military gets in touch with Jax, and he's painting the target of Poseidon Rex, and they shoot him with missiles from the planes that have come to bombard the island. But Poseidon Rex doesn't go down. Rod falls in the water and gets ate. But Sarah shoots him with a missile in the mouth. Well, not a missile, a rocket launcher in the mouth, and kills Poseidon Rex. And then Jackson and Sarah meet on the island, but they forgot about the eggs, and one of the eggs hatches, which will lead to the sequel that will never happen. Because this movie probably didn't do well because it's not a great movie. It's one of those so bad it's good movies. And Brian Krause, who's a co-producer on the movie, was not originally supposed to star in it. They had another star who got injured and had to take a bunch of time off because the injuries were so bad. So they brought in Brian Krause, who actually works as a co-producer on the movie too. So that is Poseidon Rex. I recommend this movie. I do not recommend watching it 4 times in 2 weeks. It is a good creature feature. If you want to watch something so bad it's good. It is on Tubi. It's on a bunch of other ones that I don't have. The only one I had on was Tubi. It's not on any of the big ones. It's on Tubi and a bunch of free ones. It's not on Pluto, though. So now what you've all been waiting for, the song. The cat is watching me. And I once again have to play it one-handed because of my hand issues. You should have seen it. I went to put the camera up and just a bunch of stuff just came out my nose. It wasn't snot, it was just like a clear liquid. In a sinkhole near Belize, he lives. Formidable the beast is. He can take down any prey, hunts them night and day. But when he escapes, he'll worry the whole cape. But it won't be fish he'll eat, but human meat. Poseidon Rex, king of the sea. Poseidon Rex, coming to eat me and you. He'll hunt down any others, even your mother. He sees fit to eat. Can't be stopped, we're already dead meat. This beast from the depths is good at sinking ships, eating their crews alive. Bullets won't pierce his hide. The only thing you can do is run away or be screwed when Poseidon Rex is coming by. He's 50 feet tall and can run right through walls. There's no place to hide. So you better quit napping and find a way to make it happen to kill the beast before we all die. Poseidon Rex, king of the sea. Poseidon Rex, coming to eat me and you. He'll hunt down any others, even your mother, who he sees fit to eat. You can't be stopped, we're already dead meat. The only way we can win is if the military comes in and bombs the island in eggs. There will be no survivors, no place left to hide, but Poseidon Rex will have died. Poseidon Rex, king of the sea. Poseidon Rex, coming to eat me and you. He'll hunt down any others, even your mother, who he sees fit to eat. You can't be stopped, we're already dead meat. So that is the Poseidon Rex song. Next week, we've got a very special movie, the Paw Patrol movie, and a very special song to go with it. I think you will really enjoy it, and I will really enjoy singing it. So until next week.